Dnes se podíváme na situace, kdy se celebrity odmítly podvolit reportérům a jejich zákeřným otázkám. Ricky Gervais je známý tím, že rozhodně nejede podle zajetých kolejí. A když se objevily otázky na urážlivou komedii, ukončil debatu přímo na místě.
That's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, you should polarize. You should polarize because everyone's different.
Názory Denzela Washingtona se vždycky dobře poslouchají. A tak se teď podíváme na situaci, kdy reportérovi vysvětloval, že změna by měla začínat doma.
You know, incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. Do you think we've made any headway?
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds. It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
V dalším rozhovoru se Denzel rozvášnil ještě více, když začal kritizovat média za to, jak šíří negativní informace a dezinformace mezi lidmi a tím ničí náladu ve společnosti.
So what is the long-term effect of too much information? The polarization of the electorate? A meter-spiritness?
And false information as well, because the whole fake news thing.
Pick one. It's not just one. That's the flavor of the day. Every day is something else. People have to understand. Are you using your device or is your device using you? Can you put it down? Can you turn it off?
You're talking about literally the places people get their information from.
I don't care what information. Pick one. Phone, television. You know, it used to be news. Now it's opinion news. Oh, glasses. We have 3 experts on the right, 3 on the left. Let's discuss. Ooh, light bulbs. We have 3 experts on the right. That's not news. That's opinion news. Well, over and over and over. Cycle. What is the long-term effect of too much information? If you're sitting there and you're thinking it's the gospel, what I'm saying to people is, to all of us, I'm not knocking the phone. What I'm saying is we have to understand, we have to at least ask ourselves, around the world, you here in England, wherever you are, what is it doing us?
Když už jsme byli u těch telefonů, pojďme se podívat, jak reagoval Elon Musk, když mu reportér z BBC začal tvrdit, že po jeho koupi Twitteru se z něho stalo více nenávistné místo.
In the company. What hate speech are you talking about? I mean, you use Twitter. Right. Do you see a rise in hate speech? Personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content, yeah, personally. Can you name one example? I honestly don't use... honestly, I don't... You can't name a single example. I'll tell you why, because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore, because I just don't particularly like it. But you said actually, a lot of people are quite similar. I only look at
hang on a second.
following.
You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
Well, then how did you see the hateful content? You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful content? You just lied.
What? No.
Matthew McConaughey zase více otevřeně mluvil o tradičních rodinných hodnotách, i přesto, že se je v dnešní době snaží Hollywood bagatelizovat a tlačit více do ústraní.
We need to invest in mental health care. We need safer schools. We need to restrain sensationalized media coverage. We need to restore our family values. We need to restore our American values. And we need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun owners are fed up with the Second Amendment being abused and hijacked by some deranged individuals.
A když už jsme u rozhovorů nebo řečí, ve kterých se celebrity nedržely zajetých pravidel, nesmíme vynechat ani Jima Carreyho, který se vyjadřoval k facce Willa Smitha na Oscarech.
I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore. Video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Podobně výřečný jako Jim Carrey je i režisér Quentin Tarantino, který odmítl odpovědět novinářce, když se ho zeptala, proč dal Margot Robbie tak málo prostoru ve filmu, tenkrát v Hollywoodu.
Quentin, you have put Margot Robbie, a very talented actress, actor, in your film. This is a, person with a great deal of acting talent, and yet you haven't really given her many lines in the movie. And I wondered, I guess that was a deliberate choice on your part, and I just wanted to know why that was, that we don't hear her actually speaking very much. And Margot, I wanted you to also comment about being in the film in this part.
Well, I just reject your hypotheses.
Quentin Tarantino se později vyjádřil ke kritice v pořadu Real Time, kde kritizoval Hollywood za to, že upřednostňuje agendu před tvorbou skutečných filmů.
If somebody brings up something that actually is legitimate, I'll even have a conversation with them about it because I'm actually into interesting thought and I don't have to even agree with you. Oh, but that's an interesting point.
Right.
That's an interesting point. But there has become a thing that's gone on, it seems like in this, especially this last year, where what's the word I'm looking at? Ideology is more important than art.
Way more, certainly to the awards.
Yeah. And it's just, it's like, ideology
Right.
trumps art. Ideology trumps individual effort. Ideology trumps good. Ideology trumps entertaining.
There's two kinds of movies, virtue signalers and superhero movies.
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams byl veřejně kritizován reportérem za jeho text v písni Blue Red Lines. Speciálně za větu Vím, že to chceš. Když se ale reportér snažil dostat, Pharrell to chytře slovy odmítl a vedl s ním debatu.
Who wrote I Know You Want It? Was that you?
Yeah, sure.
That was very criticised by many people who felt it.
It was.
It literally blurred the lines between a woman's right to say no and a man forcing himself.
I don't know where the forcing himself and a woman's right to say no was ever addressed in that song.
I Know You Want It? Isn't that it?
That's a man. Is that a man forcing himself on you? Food. Do you like food?
Yeah.
So when you're hungry and I can tell you're hungry and I say I know you want it, does that mean I'm going to rape you?
Well,
don't answer the question. You got to be fair.
That's a clever.
But
clever way of
I'm
putting
not.
it,
I'm
but I
not
think
trying to
in
be.
context,
I'm not trying to be. No, it wasn't.
This is a.
The song is about dancing. Dancing.
Když se reportérovi nedařilo Pharrella nachytat na větě Vím, že to chceš, rozhodl se zaútočit na samotný videoklip, kde byly ženy v podstatě nahé.
Look, you were standing there with women cavorting around you with no clothes on.
Right.
There was a power dynamic going on there, wasn't there? These women are there to please you.
Oh, they were?
Were they not?
Did I touch them sexually?
You don't need to. They were there with their boobs out.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you something. So in a high fashion magazine, when women have their boobs out, is there something sexual there too?
It wasn't a high fashion magazine. It was a music video.
Oh, well, if you ask the director, who's a female, who wrote it, she was inspired by editorials by high fashion magazines where women do have their boobs out. I don't recall me ever making a sexual gesture to any women.
Ten samý reportér se dostal také do sporu s Robertem Downeym Jr., když spolu dělali rozhovor, aby zpromovali snímek Avengers.
What I'd really like to ask you about a quote you gave to the New York Times, and I don't want to pry, so if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But what you said to the New York Times once was, it was after your incarceration, and you said you can't go from a $2,000 a night hotel suite to a penitentiary and understand it and come out a liberal. And I just wondered what you meant by that.
Well, the funny thing is, and I appreciate your point of view, things that you said 5-7 years ago were things you said in an interview that made sense to you at the time. I could pick that apart for 2 hours and be no closer to the truth than I'd be giving you some half-assed answer right now. I couldn't even really tell you what a liberal is. So therein lies the answer to your question.
But the statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing is that I'm certainly not going to backpedal on anything I've said, but I wouldn't say I'm a Republican or a liberal or a Democrat. I think when I was talking to the person who was doing the interview that day, and that just happened to be my opinion. That's the nice thing is you can have opinions and they kind of change and flow.
Od té doby se rozhovor vymkl kontrole. Frustrace známého herce začínala být čím dál viditelnější a nesnažil se ani skrývat opovržení reportérem, který s nepříjemnými otázky nekončil.
I mean, obviously you're doing a promotional round of interviews and that's why we're talking about the movie, but we also would like to talk a little bit about you, and I don't know how comfortable you are, you know, talking about yourself at the moment.
You have as much time as anyone else will.
Yeah, well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions and you can answer them if you want to and not if you don't want to. I mean, well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
Na závěr tak reportér Roberta Downeyho Jr. zaskočil velmi osobní otázkou, která už byla pro herce ale příliš.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in you know, the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether, you know, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions. That's
right.
Okay, that's okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Are you? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pokud se vám video líbilo, dejte like a hlavně odběr, ať už vám podobná videa neuniknou.